Nebraska this year?
Well, they're very similar to last year. A lot of the same faces. I think they're better than they were a year ago. Certainly, I think the development of Shields, has added another element to their team offensively that they didn't have consistently last year. He's playing great basketball, and the combination of he and Petaway are, they make two of the better wings I think in the country. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us.
I guess situation, you go into this game a little bit different than the last couple of years in terms of you're going to be kind of the underdog. Does that change any of the way you prepare for this game?
We're not kind of going to be the underdog. We are going to be the underdog, and that's it is what it is. They return a lot. We return very little. We're still trying to find ourselves. Obviously, they have an identity right now that we're still trying to find. But I'm confident our guys will go there and compete. Obviously, we know their personnel haven't played against them the last couple of years, so we understand what we have to do. Now, understanding it and doing it are two different things. Petaway and Shields are, they're a load, and they've got, the pieces they have around them aren't bad either. So, we'll play our game and see if it's good enough.
You guys haven't played at this new arena yet, but what have you heard about Pinnacle Bank Arena, a tough place it is to play?
I've just, seen some of it on TV. It looks like a great facility, a great venue, and obviously their fans have bought into their team, which I think it's great for our state to have two places that support their basketball teams the way that we do here and the way they do in Lincoln.
Obviously, you mentioned Petaway and Shields. If Avery is back to full strength, that gives you a defender against one of those guys. What do you do with the other option?
Well, I don't think you guard any of them with one guy. I think it's your team defense that has to slow them down because they're both so good at getting into creases and getting into the paint, and we have to try to keep them out of it the best we can. So we'll use different guys on him, but Avery did a good job on Woodard when he was on him last night. So hopefully he'll be closer to 100% on Sunday than he was yesterday.
You seem to be throwing out a lot of different groups of guys last night, the last couple of games. Is there any that's kind of clicked with you, or you found that we're working better?
Well, I think it's just going to be a game-to-game situation. We're still searching for the for the combination that's working best on that particular night. And so far this season, it's been different combinations, and I think it'll continue to be that way. And obviously, we had some foul trouble with the front line last night in the first half, with really all four of them having two fouls, and Jeff with three. And then Zach picked up a couple to start the second half. So we have to try to avoid that foul trouble because that really, paints us in a corner, so to speak, on what we can do with our rotations.
You played them a couple times. A lot of the same players coming back from last year.
They like to play a lot like Tulsa. They drive it a lot, try to get into the gap, get into the paint, penetrate and kick, get open shots. Petaway likes to take a lot of shots, so we got to try to limit his shots.
Obviously, this time around, you're going into this game as somewhat the underdog. That's different than the last couple of years. How does that change the mindset?
I don't think our mindset changes at all. We're just going to stick to what we do, trying to get the ball up and down the court, run in transition, and just make that extra pass and hit that open shot.
I know you haven't played at Pinnacle Bank Arena yet, but what have you heard about the atmosphere that's going on there? They're talking about doing one of their no-sit Sundays again. It's a pretty cool place to play.
Oh, yeah. My sophomore year when we played there, it was pretty rowdy, so I just kind of picture that. I think 15,000 was the seat, so it'd be kind of a little like Central League, but not close.
I guess when you try to take away positives from last night, what can you take away from that game and try to build on for this next one?
Just how poor we were defensively. As poor as we played defensively, we didn't lose by it wasn't a 20-point game, so we just know that we can get better defensively. And firing all cylinders on the offensive end, just getting more confidence on the offensive end, and just learning what we can learn from that film.
And you talked about last night, you're starting to sense some guys passing up shots. How does a guy who's maybe in a little bit of a slump get the confidence to shoot that shot when he needs to?
I mean, shooters shoot. We got a lot of shooters on this team, so shooters just got to keep shooting. You can't second guess yourself. That's what got you to this point. So, I mean, it's partly on my shoulders. Just keep leading that leadership and motivating my players.
Have you become more of a